what are my qualifications? It was a cold fall day in 2018. I'd gotten out of bed in Atlanta, Georgia with the gurgles. My stomach felt like a milkshake that someone was blowing bubbles into through a boba tea straw. Audibly so. I spent the morning gripping the sides of the toilet like a kid doing cannonballs at the pool. You get it. You've been there. But today was an important day. Many of the product teams at MailChimp, this is where I worked before Podium, had showcase meetings where they'd take myself, the CPO, and the chief technical officer through what they were working on. It was my chance to micromanage the hell out of them. Ooh, I lived for a good round of micromanagement. After I got off the toilet for the third time, I told Lydia I was going to make a run for it. I grabbed a coconut LaCroix and headed out the door. Now, Atlanta isn't known for its speedy commutes. I lived 7 miles from the MailChimp office at the time, but that usually took me 25 minutes to drive. And even with a degree in mathematics, I hadn't done the math on the time between my intestinal contractions. I made it 10 minutes into my commute before I shit my pants. I remember the exact spot. I hit a U-turn faster than a mobster trying to lose a tail, stuffed my jacket between me and the seat, and gunned it home like Ryan Gosling in Drive. Only my outfit was far less pearly white. I was 34 years old at the time. I've never had a coconut LaCroix again. I never told that story to my colleagues at MailChimp. And I never again tried to push through the trots to make a meeting. This story is basically my entire professional life in a nutshell. I care deeply about my work, perhaps a little too deeply. And I often shit my pants, proverbially speaking, in pursuit of excellent outcomes. In the process, I learn lessons, whether they be about R&D teams or about morning commutes. You've never heard of me, and there's a good reason for that. I'm not a luminary. I'm not a titan of industry. I'm not a wunderkind. I have no quotes on leadership that appeal to courage. My inspirational quote would be more like, "A leader shits their pants trying to get through Atlanta traffic to work." Not sure that's terribly inspiring. I'm just a guy who's had to lead for a long time, and I've failed a lot, gastrointestinally and otherwise. And I've succeeded sometimes. Reviewing my progress through the years, I've gotten better at leading over time. I've learned some things that have allowed me to get better at making decisions for teams and companies. What I've learned is generalizable, as in, anyone who wants to be a better leader can engage in these things I've learned over the years. More to the point, they can engage with the stuff in this book without having to be someone else. There will be very little in this book about changing your voice Elizabeth Holmes style, drinking your coffee with MCT oil in it, low-dosing psychedelics, or whatever new on-surface leadership performance tactic might be. My goal is that you can learn a thing or two about leadership from this book and apply it at your job while still being yourself. Maybe even a better version of yourself, rather than trying to get you to be someone else entirely. One of my employees once called me an equal opportunity asshole, so I'm definitely not going to try to get you to behave like me. So why do I think I'm capable of writing a leadership book, especially given that just a year ago I was scared to talk to my own managers about the topic? Here are my basic qualifications. First, I'm an okay writer. Most leadership books are nauseatingly dull. I don't even know how people got through them before the 1.5 times audiobook speed button was invented back in the early noughts. They're almost impossible to get through unless Alvin and the Chipmunks are your narrators. I swear to you, this book will be 20% more interesting than any other leadership book you've bought in the airport bookstore. Why am I confident?